Hello YouTube, my name is Booch and this will be my first ever YouTube video. I don't know how it's really gonna go, but I'm going to be trying my best. I created this channel in order to talk about something that I'm really passionate about, which is video games. So anything related to video games, old, new, or even unreleased, you'll bet I'll be talking about them here. In this video, I'll be talking about the games that I'm the most hyped about that will be coming out in the first half of 2025. You might notice that it's going to include a lot of well-known and established franchises. Also, I'm going to be mentioning the games following the chronological order of their releases, which basically means that if a game is confirmed to be coming out in February, it's going to be mentioned before the ones that are planned on June, for example. So without further ado, let's get started. With many heavy hitters like Civilization 7 and Avowed alongside Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 coming out in February, my first game on the list is Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza, which means yes, I'm hyped about this one way more than the rest of the games I mentioned. For those of you who don't know what the Yakuza game series are all about, they are action-adventure games all developed by RGG Studio, with a heavy focus on the narrative side. This one is a spin-off of the Like a Dragon series, which means Yakuza Like a Dragon and Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. My dear Majima is back, and in this game you get to play him as a pirate, which sounds amazing. Hello, sign me up. You get to actually command the ship as Goro Majima. To me that's crazy because I've always loved him as a character in the Yakuza series, which I'm a huge fan of. Like all of those different encounters that you get to experience in Kiwami 1 were hilarious, from Taxi Driver Majima to Officer Majima and freaking Zombie Majima. RGG are in my opinion one of the most underrated and least talked about game studios out there. They've been making one solid game after another, and you can verify that by yourselves by checking the reviews over on OpenCritic or Metacritic. From the different trailers released by Sega, we got to see different aspects of the game. The combat looks the best that it's ever been in an RGG game. It's fast-paced, smooth, diverse, and looks like a ton of fun. Sure, you could argue that there aren't many styles like in the older Yakuza games, but in my opinion that's even better. They seem to go more in-depth and even wilder by just focusing on two different combat styles. You've got the Mad Dog one, which is like normal Majima fighting style with his dagger and all of his swag, and then you've got the Sea Dog fighting style, which gives Majima two cutlasses. I believe each fighting style has their strengths and weaknesses. Like Majima can now spawn apparently shadowy doppelgangers that help him fight during the fights that you can have even combos with. That goes to show the amount of creativity that RGG has in the bag. I myself haven't seen much of the naval combat. Hope that it's going to be as good, if not even better than the Assassin's Creed Black Flag one. Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza drops on all platforms except the Switch on February 21st. Second game on the list is also right around the corner. It's none other than Split Fiction. Just like the Yakuza game, it's also an action-adventure one. It's being developed by Hazelight Studios. You might be wondering, who the hell are these guys? And how could you be excited about anything they have to offer? Well, I forgot to mention that they're the ones who made the 2021 Best Game of the Year award winner, It Takes Two. Aha! I bet you've probably heard of that one. I played and finished it with my girlfriend and had an absolute blast. It was fun, the story was strong, the visuals were great, the pacing was also really good. The different worlds that you get to discover, each one very different than the rest. The special abilities that you get in those levels and all the clever ways that you get to use them are also perfectly implemented in the gameplay system. No more Cody and May in this one, unfortunately. Players assume the control of either Zoe or Mio, two strangers that need to cooperate in order to escape and overcome challenges. They're both authors, with Mio being focused on the sci-fi stories, while on the other hand, Zoe is focused on the fantasy ones. Really excited to see how they get to combine both of these worlds. And did I also mention that they have bikes in this game? Like, I love bikes. This one comes out on all platforms except the Switch on March the 6th. This one is my most anticipated release of 2025, of course not included in GTA 6 if that ever gets released in 2025. It's Assassin's Creed Shadows. Yes, I know this might be the last hope for Ubisoft, and even then, this game has to be a huge success, like we're talking Elden Ring numbers, in order for Ubisoft to get out of the hole that they dug themselves in. For those of you who don't know, or who don't follow gaming news as much as I do, Ubisoft is one of the most well-known and well-established game studios, but recently in the past couple of years, they haven't been as influential as they were before, when Ezio was the leading protagonist of the Assassin's Creed series. Their share prices has dropped a whopping 85% over the last 5 years, mainly due to the very questionable management decisions and their game's poor performances. That aside, I have high hopes for this one. I've recently been looking at the footage that a few YouTubers posted when they got their hands on the preview build of the game, and in my opinion, it's looking pretty solid. Naoe is the fastest Assassin's Creed character to date. Her combat looks smooth, quick, versatile. Apparently, a lot of changes have been made to the enemy AI. It's more responsive, has unpredictable behavior, and overall should provide a better experience. There has been a lot of controversy surrounding the second character, Yusuke, but I honestly don't care. It's a video game. People will always find something to complain about, and especially if it's a Ubisoft game. His combat looks way different than Naoe's. He's slow, but he does a lot of damage. His parkour is not as great, obviously due to his size, and we'll see how the story unfolds in this one, because having two protagonists can either make or break the game. And I've heard that you can play the whole game using one character, so I don't see the point of having two of them, but hey, who am I to judge? I'm putting all the hate and noise on mute for this one and praying that Ubisoft doesn't flop with this. Given their poor track record, I've got some doubts. AC Shadows drops on May the 20th on all consoles except the Switch.
We can sneak in.
Or just through the front gate.
The last game on the list is gathering a lot of hype from the community, myself included. It's called Clair Obscur Expedition 33. It's a turn-based RPG being developed by Sandfall Interactive, which is a France-based studio that was created back in 2020. It's their first ever release, so it could go either way. I've watched almost all of the footage that can be found on YouTube about this one, and I've gotta say, for a small team of 30 members, they're doing a very good job. I'm a huge fan of the Persona series, but it gets tiring to be role-playing as a high schooler in every single one, so this should be a good change of pace. Guillaume Broche is the creative director that said that it's going to be quite different from what we know from the genre, which is heavily dominated by Eastern game companies, hence the word JRPGs. It's got fantastic visuals, reminiscent of the French Haussmannian buildings, but not only that, apparently there's also a water level, and the animations look damn good. But then again, it's a small team using a very powerful Unreal 5 engine, so in terms of performance, I have a little bit of skepticism, but I have a bit of bias since I live in France and have a bunch of French friends. I hope this game is a blowout and makes the studio a ton of money, that way they can make more games and make us gamers happy. Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is coming out on the 24th of April 2025 on all platforms except the Switch again, but it's also going to be available on Game Pass for those of you who already have the Game Pass. There it is, my list of my most anticipated games of the first half of 2025. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and thank you so much for sticking to it till the end. Don't be too harsh in the comments and make sure to drop any constructive criticism that you might have. I'll be trying to make the best videos possible, and with that, I'll catch you guys in another video. Peace!